the age of the universe currently celebrating its 15th billionth birthday. The heaven mentioned in the first book of Genesis may actually be the outer planets, asteroid belt, or other heavenly bodies in the local solar neighborhood. Would you believe the preponderance of evidence elicited from ancient and scholarly sources support rather precisely this radical view? 1. Adam was the first test tube baby some 250,000 years ago? 2. A single mother of the same era, Eve? Was the common ancestor of every human being currently living on the planet? 3. Extraterrestrials created man in their own image? 4. Certain of these extraterrestrial gods sought the destruction of man through the Great Flood deluge some 13,000 years ago? 5. Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by nuclear fission? 6. These extraterrestrial gods may still be among us? If these fundamental and profound questions intrigue you or cause you to lay awake at night, you might consider the currently most effective cure of insomnia listening to the speeches of former Vice President Al Gore or Defense Secretary Rumsfeld's reasons for unilaterally invading without cause another nation. Alternatively, you might want to learn the answers to these questions or at least a brilliant attempt at the answers and thereby swear never to listen to political speeches. If so, then rush in where angels, gods, and even life insurance salesmen fear to venture. Read, study, and devour the true history of Earth. Your life will never be quite the same as the result. Now, let me tell you here that I've got my story to tell, not anyone else's. And again, the last chapter has more than enough books for you to read about the history of man. I'm just borrowing some thoughts here to make my story more understandable to you. Likewise, I'd fail in my mission to tell this story if I didn't address right now those of you who have deep and heartfelt beliefs in your faith, and think what I'm saying is against it. So, for all of you Christians reading this right now, I'm going to ask that you take a look, a really good look at what you believe, or more accurately why you believe what you do. Jesus once said that you would know a tree by the fruit it bears, and further, that a good tree couldn't give bad fruit. A bad tree couldn't bear good fruit. Aside from being just common sense, there's also a sound scientific basis for that too, but I digress. So, I'm going to use a church as an example here of a bad tree. You know a church. The building you go into every Sunday, the one with the steeple? Do you know what a steeple is? Well, the steeple is one of the oldest pagan symbols of worship to a really bad god named Baal. And today it's the idol symbol attached to the church that professes a belief in the very God that was the sworn enemy of Baal and everything he stood for. There was a reason that the Judeo-Christian Muslim God forbade his followers to create any image, including steeples. I'm not meaning to offend any of you Christians out there, I'm just telling you the truth, get used to it. To the rest of you, I'm sorry about this slight diversion, I'm sure you understand I had to tell them. Now, back to my story. Aside from the religious stories of our origin, there is a scientific one, and we know it as the Big Bang. The Big Bang theory is the dominant scientific theory about the origin of the universe. According to the Big Bang, the universe was created sometime between 10 billion and 20 billion years ago from a cosmic explosion that hurled matter and in all directions.